Hi, everybody. Hi. Happy Friday to you, everyone. Oh my gosh, it's Friday. And there's like, I literally went from packing a box to sitting down to talk to you. Like, can you tell things are a little different? Like, there's some stuff missing back there. There's some stuff missing, like, right here. Oh my gosh, this room looks like it exploded. Like, I'm not even joking. And Facebook, please don't flag me for that. I mean that in a metaphorical sense. Right? What? But yeah, there's a lot going on right now. And if you could see the rest of this room, you'd be like, how are you getting anything done? It's pretty serious. It's a mess, but I'm not complaining, right? I'm not complaining. Well, maybe a little bit. I mean, because I do have to pack it all up, but hi to all of you. Hi, Stacia, Peggy, Wanda, Ruby, Julie, Deborah, Wendy, Laura, Donna, Kathy's here, Katie's here. If I didn't say your name, doesn't mean I didn't see you. I love you, sending you big hugs and love, right? Oh, so it is Friday, which means that it's Feel Good Friday, which is my favorite day of the week. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with our Feel Good Friday show, we get together on Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern time every week to do fun, instant gratification jewelry that sends you into your weekend inspired and not bogged down with technique, right? I want to inspire you. I want to send you into your weekend either to purchase the kits that are available in my shop or to go and make something wonderful for yourself, because I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. Beautiful jewelry does not have to be a representation of every skill and technique you have ever learned. It just needs to make you feel good, right? Just needs to make you feel good. And that's what Feel Good Friday is all about. So again, I'm going to just mention that all of the projects that you see today are available in kit form in my Etsy shop. So please go short. What? My brain and my mouth are just not quite in sync today. Be sure to go check out my Etsy shop for all of the projects, including the Maker Mix. You can grab those, and I ship those as fast as I possibly can. Now, that being said, everything should ship on Monday of next week. If it does not, it will ship on Tuesday. Just know that there might be a slight day delay in your shipping, just because next week is when all the chaos kind of happens for me. So just to kind of give you an update about next week, and we'll talk about this again next week, but I will be seeing you guys today. I'll be with my hardwires this afternoon at 4:30 p.m. with Sam. I'll be back with you guys on Tuesday for both of the lives. I've got our projects ready to go. Can I give you a sneak peek? Look at what we're making on Tuesday. Shut the front door. Is that not awesome? Whoa. So this is what we're making on Tuesday, all of us together. Then my hardwired class, I'll have one extra live next week with Nile, but then I do have to take some time off to get moved. So after next week, the next time you see me, I'll be in some new surroundings. But I'll keep you updated. I'll post all of that information next week so you'll know when and where I am and what's going on, okay? I told Nile yesterday, I was like, I'm going to be gone. I hope everybody doesn't forget about me. Like, that's my biggest fear. I'm like, if I go away and I'm not there for lives, so during the time that it takes me to move, what if everybody forgets about me? Please don't forget about me. Please don't go find some other redhead to watch. All right. So I have kits for you today. I have a Maker Mix, and I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 things to show you, but let me tell you, these things are, as always, easy to put together. I'm going to start with kind of the things that take a little bit more time, and then we'll just ease our way down the pipeline to the super easy peasy things. Okay. I got great things to show you. Let's get started with our Maker Mix. All right. So okay. Ready to rock and roll here. Our Maker Mix, this is such a cool Maker Mix. This one is called the Yin Yang mix. And originally this started out as just black and white because I have these really cool little Yin Yang metal beads, these little Yin Yangs, right? And I wanted to just make it black and white, you know, to go with the Yin Yang. So there are like some black and white check glass in here. But I was like, you know what? It needs some color. So I added this pop of like teal blue, teal green. It's more on the green side than on the blue side, but it's still just like this really awesome color. And there are little crystal ones in here as well. There is some Dalmatian jasper. There are some metal beads in here. This is just a fun mix. Really a cool mix of colors. I love teal, black and white together. So I thought this was a cool one. And there are some really interesting shapes in this one and some really large beads as well. There's some check glass bicones that are really big. So this is our Yin Yang bead mix for this week. Super cool. All right, I'm going to set this to the side and we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start with our necklace project. I only have one necklace project in today's show. And so I want to show you what this necklace is all about. So it's knotted, but it's the simple knotting that we do. I'm going to show you exactly how to get it started and then how to finish it off. So this is a chip bead necklace. Let me just show you kind of where we're going, and then I'll show you how to get there. Okay. So we have all of these really pretty howlite chip beads in this beautiful turquoise color. Okay. You've got some little round beads as well. You have some bead caps that we're going to use as necklace cones. So let me show you where we're going. We're going to do the front section of our necklace is going to be the chip beads all knotted together. I'm going to show you how to get this started. And then we're going to do a bundle or two together because I need to finish off this strand just to save time. We're not going to do the whole thing together, but I will show you how to start it and how to finish it. Okay, so to get started, we're going to use a piece of wire that is included in your kit. Let me grab my tools. Okay, we're going to start out by making a wrapped loop on one end of our wire. So I'm going to come down about an inch. I'm going to give the wire a bend. And I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers. We're going up and over, rotate the pliers and take the wire over to the other side. And then we're going to wire wrap. So basically what we're doing is we're creating a eye pin or an eye pin with a wrapped loop, right? Okay, I'm going to trim off the excess. Using one of my green cutters today. I found this when I was cleaning and packing. So the green cutters, because somebody always asks, where are your blue cutters? I still have my blue cutters. I'm just using the green handled ones today. So the green handled ones are just a little bit more cost effective, if you will, than the blue ones. They just cost a little bit less, but still just as good. Made by Beadalon. All right, so we've got our wrapped loop eye pin. Okay, and so what we're going to do next is, and I'm using a shortened version of our cord here. So we've got some nylon cord, and I should have untangled this ahead of time. So you're going to have 3 pieces of nylon cord that are much longer than the ones that I have here in my hand. Okay. And you want to just bring those together, and you want to take the 3 ends and you want to stick those through the loop, your little wrapped loop, and then you just want to find the middle. So bring your ends together, right, and find the middle, just like that, like super easy. Okay, there was nothing hard about that. Please don't be discouraged and think, oh my gosh, I have no idea what she just did. I just took my 3 cords and brought them to the middle through our wrapped loop on one of our pieces of wire. Now I'm going to just tie an overhanded knot. Okay. And I want to pull that knot right up next to our wrapped loop as close as I can get it. Pull out all the slack. Okay. Now where we've had 3 cords, we now have 6, right? That gives us 6 strands to put 6 chip beads on. Okay. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to put 6 chip beads on each strand, and then we're going to tie those into a knot. Now, I'm going to move on to the piece that I've already started. So let me show you. Okay. So I started out the exact same way. Okay. I had a wrapped loop, tied my 3 strands in half so that they became 6, and started threading on my chip beads and tying knots in between. So I'll show you how we do that, as I've already got a few of those done, but we're going to pretend like we don't. I just want to be sure you get all the steps here, because it does take a lot of time. Not a lot of time, but this was a longer project to put together, but I wanted to be sure I covered all of the bases with this one. So for each one of the strands, you're going to put 1 of your chip beads. Okay. So just 1 chip bead per strand here. Okay. Just make sure you don't double up on them. Okay. We got 1 more strand here. All right. So now after you have a bead on each one of your strands, then you just want to bring all the strands together. Okay. And you're just going to make like a little bundle out of them, right? Doesn't have to be anything crazy. I try to, you know, straighten all my cords out so that they're not super tangled, but it really doesn't even make any difference. Okay. Now I'm going to tie another overhanded knot, and that's just going to secure the placement of all of these. And you can make these little bundles as tight or as loose as you want to, right? In other words, you can tie your knots closer together so that your beads are more like this, or you can keep your knots apart like I have them so that your beads have lots of room to kind of move. Okay. All right. So you're going to do that with all of your chip beads, right? Remember where we started. Okay. And then you're going to do that with all of your chip beads. And now we're going to pretend like we're over here at the end, and it's time to finish off the strand. So we want to finish off the strand the same way that we started, and that's with a piece of wire. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our piece of wire, and again, we're going to do another wrapped loop. So I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers. I'm going to come in, up and over, rotate, take the wire over to the other side. Okay. She is spicy. Nicole is spicy. She is spicy in the best way. Okay, so we've got our other piece of wire, and we've made ourselves another wrapped loop, exactly how we started. Now we need to tie this to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all 6 strands, and we're going to thread those through the wrapped loop that we just made, and they'll all fit. Okay. Okay. Bring that wrapped loop down here to the knot that you just finished with. Okay. Now we're going to tie another knot around our wrapped loop. I like to tie it around my finger because it just gives me a little bit more room to make a good sized loop and be sure that I can pull all the ends through. Right. And then I'm just going to pull that down. Right up next to the last knot that we made. Okay. So those 2 knots are going to be sitting side by side. Okay. Now what I want to do is, and this is not included in your kit, but I'm hoping that you've got some at home. Grab yourself some of this GS Hypo Cement. If you don't have any Hypo Cement, use some E6000. You just want a little bit on this knot, because we're going to trim all of this excess cord off, because we don't need all of that. So I definitely want to secure that knot with some glue. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you are going to come in, just like I said, and we're going to trim off all of the cord that we don't need. And we're trimming pretty close to the knot, so we want to be sure we've got glue there, okay? All right, so the front of your necklace is done, right? But now we need to cover up our ends because nobody wants to see those knots, right? So that's what our bead, or I'm sorry, our necklace cones are for. So we're going to thread one of our necklace cones onto one of our pieces of wire, and that's going to cover up all that mess. And then we're going to thread on a round howlite bead. Okay, and we're going to do a wrapped loop, and we're going to wrap this directly to our piece of chain because we've got chain for the length of our necklace here. All right, so I'm coming in with my chain nose pliers to make our bend in the wire. Coming in with our round nose pliers to go up and over, rotate and take the wire over to the other side. Now, before we do our wrapped loops though, let's go ahead and thread on the end of one of our pieces of chain, snap those two together, and then we're going to wire wrap. So we've wire wrapped the end of our necklace to one of our pieces of chain. So there's not a jump ring involved there unless you just want to put a jump ring in there, but you really don't need it. Okay, we're going to come in with our cutter tool, trim off the excess. And then we're going to do the exact same thing over here on the other side. Okay, so we have our necklace cone. We're going to thread that onto our piece of wire. And all of that is going to go right up inside that necklace cone. You never even see it, right? So now both of your ends look nice and clean. That's the beauty of those cones. Colleen says cones are definitely handy to have. They definitely are handy to have. I would agree with that 100%. So we're going to drop down our bead. We're going to start our wrapped loop. We're going to thread on our other piece of chain over here. Then the only thing that'll be left will just be to add your hardware and you will have a completed necklace. So there's our wrapped loop. Threading on our chain. Wiggle to snap those. Oh no, whoops, I wiggled too hard and opened my chain up. There we go. Sometimes I don't know my own strength. Okay, we're gonna wire wrap, straighten all that up a little bit, nice and clean, just like so. And trim off that excess wire. If you need to tuck in where you cut, go ahead and do that with your pliers, and that's it. So let me show you. The only thing that you would have left to do to this would be to add your hardware to the back of your pieces of chain. But basically, this is your necklace in its completed form. So we have all of these little sections of our chips all knotted together, right, with our cord. And then we have our cones that are covering up all of the ugly. And then it just finishes in some chain, which makes it lightweight necklace to wear. You can layer this up with some of your other favorite pieces, or it looks really cool by itself. And you want to know what's awesome is that I have 2 kits that are earrings that match this. So if you're looking for the whole set, I've got you covered. So we're going to put together 2 pairs of earrings, 2 different pairs of earrings that match this necklace. So let me move this over here to the side. Okay. And we are going to put together the first pair of earrings is very similar to the necklace in the way that they are put together. So we've got another cone. And we are basically doing the exact same thing. We are just wiring together our loops, right? So you can see how this matches. So the only difference here for the one that I'm making is I ran out of my cord. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of pretending here. Okay, so for my cord, I only had 2 pieces of cord left because I literally used all the rest of this in kits and had to order some more. So mine is only going to be a 4-strand earring, whereas this one is a 6 strands. But we'll make it work, right? So we're going to start out exactly the same way. Okay, we're going to start out with our wrapped loop with our wire. Okay, and we're going to do up and over, rotate, take the wire over to the other side. And again, we're just doing a wrapped loop here. So it's an eye pin with a wrapped loop on it. Okay, we're going to trim off the excess. All right, now we're going to take our cords here. Now you'll have 3. I only have 2. Just pretend with me. Okay, we're going to bring those to the middle. Okay, so now I have 4. I'm not going to tie a knot in this though. Not yet. Okay, but I do want to add a chip to each one of these. So let me just pull these apart a little bit. They're like ramen noodles, right? They're so curly. It's hard to see what I'm doing. So, all right, I'm just putting a chip bead on each one of the strands. Okay, so with mine, I'll have 4, but with you and yours, whoops, I just pulled that all the way through. You're going to have 6. This curly cord is like giving me fits. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. It's too funny. When you get to the end of the roll, right, it gets really, really curly where it was wound around really tightly. Okay, so Wanda says a true mom situation. Mom has 2, us kids have 3. Yeah, that's exactly how it works. All right, so now what I want to do is I'm going to bring all of the cords together. Okay. Now, remember, I didn't tie a knot here yet. Straighten up the cords a little bit so that they're not totally twisted around. Okay, now to make this into a drape, we're actually going to bring our beads down a little bit further away from our wire, and we're going to bring our cords together like this. So we're just making a loop, right? And then you just want to kind of cinch up your strands a little bit before you commit to a knot. Just kind of decide how long you want that drape with your chip beads on it to be, right? And then you're going to tie a knot. Now, again, I like to tie around my finger because it just gives me extra room to tie that knot. And then when I take my finger away, I've got a nice big loop where I can pull my ends through. Maybe. This cord in these curly cues it's like not wanting to behave. But that's what you're going to do. Pull that through. Okay. And then you want to cinch this knot up right at your wrapped loop. Okay. Now, the cool part about this is that you can make these as long or as short as you want them to be. Okay. So with this pair, these are kind of short. This one, these are kind of long, right? It's a little bit more drape. Again, you want to add some glue to this before you trim your cord. Since this is just a sample, I'm just going to go ahead and move on. But you're going to trim off. And then again, you're going to take a cone and you just want to be sure that everything goes up inside your cone. Now you're going to see the bottom of your knot with this cone, but that's part of the design. Like I kind of like that. So you can see how that knot is showing just a little bit, right? And then you're just going to do your wrapped loop. Now I know this one looks a little bit different. I was going a little fast and I wasn't being particularly mindful of my, my knot is coming undone. I wasn't being particularly mindful. That's why you need the glue, y'all. Oh no! I should have glued it. Oh my goodness. Okay, everybody hold on. Now we're going to do another knot. Maybe this time I'll add the glue. Hold on. Bring them together. It's going to be really, really short. I don't think I've got enough. I don't. Okay. I don't have enough here, but you can see what I've done. In fact, I'll take this one apart and you can see. I mean, I don't guess I have to. I already showed you. Our cords, I cut my cords too short. I'm not going to take it completely apart, but you're tucking all that in there, right? And then you're just doing a wrapped loop up here at the top, and then you're going to add your ear wire. I'm sorry that I messed mine up, you guys. Please don't mess yours up like I messed mine up, because it does make a really cool pair of earrings. And the cool part is that, again, you can adjust the length of your drape with your beads. So if you want it to be nice and short like this one, that's cool. If you want it to be longer, you've got plenty of the cord in the kit, so you can make them longer if you want to. You can make your drapes as long as about 3 inches because you've got plenty of cord to work with. Okay. Patty says, that's a good example of following directions. Exactly. Do as I say, not as I do. You definitely want to add your glue. Let the glue set up before you tuck it into your cone and do your wrapped loop. Okay. So yeah, there you go. So those match our really cool necklace. I've got one more super easy pair of earrings to put together that matches our necklace as well. I love these. These are so pretty. Check these out. Super simple, just stacking them up. So we've got these awesome sunflower beads and some more of these really beautiful halite in turquoise. Okay, so let's put this together really quickly. And then we will move on because I've got a bracelet and 3 more pairs of earrings to show you guys. All right. So we're going to take a piece of wire because of the way that our bead is drilled right across the top. Okay. I'm going to take the wire and thread that through. And I'm not going to take it all the way to the center, kind of off center a little bit. Okay. I'm going to take one of the wires and I'm going to bend it along that edge of the bead, because you see how the bead kind of slants. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the other wire. I'm going to bend it along the slant of the bead. So what you've got is your wires crisscrossing over the top of the bead. One of your wires is shorter, the other one is longer. Okay. We're going to use the shorter wire to wrap around the longer wire. So I'm going to take my pliers, I'm going to bend it out this direction. Okay. And then I'm going to take my longer wire and I just want to bend it straight up and down. So basically we're creating a little L shape out of our wires. Okay. Now I'm going to come in with my bent chain nose pliers and I'm going to hold on to that section of wire and hold it tight. And I'm going to wrap around the longer wire with my shorter wire just about 2 or 3 times. Okay. Doesn't have to be a ton. 2 or 3 times is plenty. Okay. Now I'm going to drop down onto the wire one of these howlite rondelles. I'm going to drop down a metal bead, our sunflower, and another metal bead. And then I'm going to do a wrapped loop, add an ear wire, and call it a day. Okay. Super easy, but these are so pretty. Like this just screams summertime to me. They're so pretty. So I'm going to come in with my chain nose pliers, bend the wire over the pliers. I'm going to come in, whoops. And with my round nose pliers, I'm going to take that wire up and over the top barrel of the pliers. Now I'm going to rotate the pliers so that I can take the wire over to the other side. And then I'm just going to wire wrap in that space between the loop that we just made and our top bead. Just like that. I'm going to trim off the excess. And I'm going to add the ear wire to it. And those are done. Like those are so, so easy to put together, but they're so pretty. And because of the way that I wire wrapped these, so we wire wrapped them like a briolette here, right? But we didn't do a wrapped loop where our wraps came down and met it. So it kind of takes you off the hook, right? You don't have to worry about your wraps meeting each other because the beads are breaking all of that up. We use the same piece of wire to thread all of our beads on, but then our little wire wrapped loop is a completely different section than this wrap down here. So it definitely is, this is definitely a good practice piece, right? It's a good practice piece for learning how to wire wrap a briolette, but not having the pressure of making all those wire wraps meet up with each other. So there you go. Super, super cute. And they match, of course, our necklace right? Remember our little necklace we put together. And then we have this pair as well that also goes with our necklace. So cute little set for summertime for sure. All right. Now that's not all. That's not all. I got other stuff to show you. So we're going to move on. Okay. I'm going to move all this over here to the side, out of the way. And we're going to make our bracelet for today. We've got one bracelet and it has a pair of earrings that go with it. And it is another easy knotting project. So we're going to put together a bracelet. I'm going to lay it all out for you so you can see it. We have these beautiful check glass flowers. Got these from Danielle Wicks. Please be sure you check out Danielle Wicks' Etsy shop while you are shopping in my Etsy shop. Give her lots of love. She is such a good friend and such an amazing designer. I'm always happy to show off all of her beady goodness. All right, so we've got 6 check glass flowers in this gorgeous cobalt blue. And then we have 4 of these really cool metal beads that have these leaves on them. Okay, so we have all those. This is like weirdest shaped bracelet ever. There we go. So we're doing an asymmetrical design. Okay. Then we're going to make bundles of these little check glass tulips. And we're going to do a cluster out of those. Now you can either put those on the end of the check glass flowers. You can put them on the metal end, either one. And we've got a toggle clasp to finish all of this off. And we're going to add a dangle here in the middle. So this, before we move on, it's just a purple bead, a bead cap, and a bicone stacked up on a jump ring. I'm actually going to put that between our check glass flower beads. So what we need to do together is we need to finish off our little bundle and we need to put our entire bracelet together. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to do that with some of this nylon cord. So I've got a long piece of cord here and I'm going to take my toggle ring. I'm going to thread my cord through it and I'm going to bring the ends together. Okay, and find the middle. And when you find the middle, you just want to tie an overhanded knot and pull that knot up next to the loop on your toggle. Okay, so we've got that cinched down. All right, now we're going to start out with our metal beads. And our metal beads have a nice large hole. It's not super large, but it's big enough to accommodate both strands of our nylon. So we're going to thread our beads onto both strands, bring that down. We're going to tie another overhanded knot. And we want to bring that knot down right next to the bead. So just an overhanded knot, not anything fancy. Okay. We're going to do the rest of our silver beads that way. I got glue on my finger. Okay, so I'm going to thread our metal beads onto both strands, tie an overhanded knot. Isn't that pretty? This color, this purple color is awesome. And I feel like it looks beautiful with this cobalt blue. Like it's such a cool color combination. So there's our overhanded knot with that one. We've got 2 more of the metal beads to go. Oh, I love that. Kim said she's watching with her 4-year-old granddaughter and she's doing and saying what Sarah is with pipe cleaners. Oh, I love that. That is so adorable. All right, another overhanded knot. That is the cutest thing ever. I remember when my kids used to come in here and do that with me too. I miss those days. Now they just walk by and roll their eyes at me. Mom's at it again. I'm just kidding. They're not really like that, but but they definitely don't come in here and pretend anymore. They used to. My youngest, she used to pretend all the time. She'd get her iPad and make her own little jewelry making videos. It was adorable. Okay. I miss those days. It was before boys, you know? Okay. So there's our knotted metal beads. Now our check glass beads, our flowers, they're not going to fit. Both strands won't fit. So we're going to take those and just thread those onto one of the nylon cords. And we're going to take the other nylon cord along the back of that bead. Okay. And then tie the knot just as you would. Now, if you're struggling with getting your knots close, as I'm trying to get my knots as close as possible. If you struggle with getting your knots close, you can always use like the tip of your pliers, a paintbrush, a pencil, like literally anything, or a beading awl. So I'll show you the next one. So again, our check glass bead only goes on one of the cords. The other cord is going to go to the back. So when it flips over, it's still pretty because that nylon cord is just pretty. Okay. So overhanded knot. Now, if you need any extra assistance, here's what you're going to do. Just lay it down flat and take whatever you're using, if it's your beading awl or a pencil or whatever, and just hold it down right next to where you want that knot to go, right? And pull your cord around it and then slide that out and cinch down your knot. Okay, that'll help you to get your knots nice and close if you can't just freehand it. Okay. All right, we've got a few more of these to go. And then we'll put together the rest of this. The rest of our projects are really quick and easy, so I don't feel bad about spending some extra time on this one. All right, so again, overhanded knot. Oh. Hi, Pam! Okay, do another one. Got two more to go. The knotting gives this a really nice feel too. It gives it a really good drape. It just feels like a very soft, it's not a very stiff bracelet at all. And that's true anytime you use knotting in a project. Now, you don't have to use all of the beads, right? If you need a shorter bracelet, leave out one of the metal beads, leave out one of the flowers, totally up to you. Thread on the very last of our check glass flowers and do our last overhand knot. Okay. All right. Now we need to attach this to a jump ring. So I'm going to take both cords. I'm going to thread a jump ring on, and I'm going to tie an overhanded knot with my jump ring out here. We can bring everything down nice and close here in just a second. Okay. So again, just bring that jump ring down. Okay, just like that. Now, again, put glue on this. Do as I say, not as I do, because I'm not going to put the glue on it. Put the glue on it. All right, I'm going to take two of my little tulip flowers to put on the ends of my little fringe pieces that are hanging off here. Now, you don't have to. You can trim yours off if you want. I just like to add a little extra. So I'm going to thread one of those on, and then I'm going to tie an overhanded knot to knot that on so that it doesn't slide off the end of our cord. All right, so there's one, and then I'll trim some of that off, and then I'm going to do the other. Okay. Okay, so there are those, and I'm going to trim off excess. Oops. Okay. Now, you can go ahead and add your little drop if you want to. Okay, so you're just going to stack your beads on to your head pin and do a wraps loop. I'm using a oval jump ring, which is included in your kit. Okay. And I'm going to take this oval jump ring and I'm going to open it up. Oh, what a day I'm having. Where are my jump rings? That one I had opened so many times, I knew that was going to happen. Hold on. Oh, gosh. I'm throwing stuff all over the place, picking up dog hair. Okay. Don't open and close your jump rings more times than once. Okay. Lesson there. All right. So there's my jump ring. Thread that on. And since I have 6 of these beads, I'm going to put this in the middle between 3 and 4. Okay. And then I'm just going to close that back. It is a Monday for me. I'm telling you, for sure. Okay. So we've got all of this ready, but we still have our little bundle of beads to go. So basically these are put together with jump rings. Okay. So I've got 3 jump rings together so far. Each jump ring has 2 of these tulip beads. We've got a few more to go, right? So we are going to do our wrapped loops here. We've got 2 more of these to wire wrap. So I'm going to thread onto a head pin. Let's do a wrapped loop. Okay. We're going up and over, rotate the pliers, take the wire over to the other side, and then wire wrap. Okay, there's one. We're going to trim off the excess wire. We're going to do the other one, and then we're going to add these to our little cluster here and finish off our design. Okay, up and over, rotate, take the wire over to the other side. All right, so once you've got these all wrapped together, okay, and you're going to do that to all of them. Mine are just already put together to save time. But you're going to open up a jump ring one at a time. And when you open up that jump ring, you want to put 1 bead on one side, a jump ring, right? So the next jump ring, and then a bead on the other side so that your beads hang on either side of your jump rings, right? And then you're going to open up the next jump ring and do the same thing. So you just want to make sure that your beads and everything are even on the jump rings, 1 on either side. And that jump ring that you're adding to it goes in the middle. So you can see how I've just linked. So now I have 4 jump rings all linked together. They each have a jump ring on, a flower bead on either side. That means that 4 will hang on one side, 4 will hang on the other side, 5 as soon as we take care of this last one. So this one here that we, the jump ring here that we tied our knot to, we actually want to open it up and we want to add our beads to it too. So a bead on one side, our jump ring, and a bead on the other side. Oh, that'll keep everything nice and full. It keeps everything nice and balanced. And now you've got this really cool little bead cluster, right? And we're going to find the end jump ring here, and we're going to attach our toggle bar to that. So just attaching that, there's a 4mm jump ring going between there. And there you go. So you've got a really fun little bracelet here that's got lots of movement. So you've got some cha-cha going on. You have your little fringe. Everything is knotted in between, so everything hangs really fluid, you know. You've got your purple pops coming through there, and you've got your little charm. You put it all together. That's what you got. Now, you can, if you need to adjust the length, again, you're going to add, or you can either add jump rings to this, or you're going to remove beads, depending on if you need to size it up or size it down. But comes together really pretty, really, really pretty. Okay. All right. So this, of course, has got a pair of earrings to go with it because I'm all about sets these days. And again, just super, super simple stacking them up. So we're going to take some of our beads that match our little dangle here. I'm going to take a head pin and I'm going to thread on my check glass flower. And I'm going to do a wrapped loop. Okay, so bend the wire over my chain nose pliers. Coming in with my round nose pliers, going up and over. And then we're going to wrap between the loop we created and the top of our bead. We're going to come in and trim off the excess. Okay. We're going to take an eye pin and I'm going to go ahead and open up the eye and thread it onto the wrapped loop that we just made. Okay. And then I'm just going to stack my beads onto this. So I'm going to stack on a bead cap, our purple glass bead, another bead cap, and a bicone. And then we're just going to do another wrapped loop, add our ear wire, and call it a day. Like, so pretty, so simple, and matches our really cool bracelet. So again, I'm loving this color combination of the cobalt blue and the deep purple. So I know that springtime for a lot of people means pastels, but I got to tell you, I'm not particularly a pastel person. And I know that there are other people out there that are not pastel people, but still want to have spring jewelry. There's absolutely nothing wrong with using your bold colors. Mix and match your bold colors together. Add elements of spring like your flowers, the little tulips, you know, like our sunflower beads from our previous earrings, to get your spring elements, but don't sacrifice your favorite colors just for the season. If you don't like pastel pinks and pastel blues, that doesn't mean you have to give up, right? You don't have to wear those. Just use the same elements with other spring, or I'm sorry, just use the same colors that you love with other spring elements, right? You can't tell me that's not a spring and summertime pair of earrings. Is it deep, dark, and bold? Yeah, it is. But still very springtime to me. And I love it because it's a great opportunity to mix bold colors together and make them really pop. So there's a little set, right? So cute. I love the bracelet. The earrings are the perfect little touch. All right. Now, see, Gail says she's not a pastel person either. It's hard to wear pastels if you're not a pastel person. And a lot of times handmade jewelry in particular this time of year tends to be on the pastel side. But I still love the spring theme. I just am not a pastel kind of person. So I love to be able to wear flowers, but still in the deep, dark colors that I like. All right, I've got 2 more pairs of earrings for you guys, and then I will let you go for the day. These go together really, really quickly. So we've actually done earrings like this in the past. And so this won't be a new project to you. But they were popular the first time around, so we're going to do them again. So we're making little flowers. Again, dark flowers, the dark colors here. So it's just wire and some flowers. These are on chain, so you can make them nice and long if you want to. The chain comes in all of the kits, or you can leave the chain out and just make them short, right? Just add the ear wire to them. So it's totally up to you. I have them in this really beautiful turquoise color or in the blue. And we're going to put together the blue really quickly. Okay. Super, super easy to do. So I'm just going to take my wire. Oh, this is the wrong piece of wire. Hold on. Oh, my wire piece is mixed up today. Okay. I'm going to thread on 6 beads. So I've got 6 of the blue. Okay. All right, so we've got 6. I've dropped them down to the center of the wire. Okay, I'm going to bring the 2 ends of the wire together and I'm just going to crisscross them. Okay, so nothing hard here, but I do want to kind of open them up. So it's going to want to come together in like a teardrop shape. I'm going to kind of squish it and make it more of an open flower shape. I'm going to take the front wire and bend it to the back, and I'm going to take the front or the back wire and bend it upwards. Okay, and to secure this back wire, I'm actually just going to wrap it around just once. Okay. So you don't have to do like wire wrap, bralette, that whole, you're just securing your circle. Okay. And we've got this wire coming out the back. I'm going to take my pearl that goes in the center. I'm going to thread it on, and then I'm just going to pop it right into place in the center. And now you're going to need to use your tools for this. Okay, but the wire that is between these 2 beads on the bottom, I'm just going to use my pliers to tuck that wire through the center and then pull just to wrap that wire around. And that's just going to secure that little bead in the middle. Okay, just use your tools to do that. Use your pliers to do that, because your fingers, it's a tight little spot, but it's not hard, right? I just wrapped it around that twice to secure it. Trim that off. You've got yourself a little flower, right? All we need to do is just do a little wrap to loop with this. So I'm going to come in with my chain nose pliers, grab the wire, give it a bend, coming in with my round nose pliers, take the wire up and over, rotate, take the wire over to the other side. Okay, now I'm going to take my piece of chain because I want to make these the long ones. You don't have to. You can skip this part and just do your wrap loop without the chain. It depends on what length you want, right? Slide the chain on. I'm going to use my bent chain nose pliers to hold that loop and the chain out of the way so that I can wire wrap. Okay, come in with your cutter tool, trim off the excess wire, and then add your ear wire, and those are done. So these are super, super easy to put together, but still a wire project. But they're so, so pretty. You can use your 4mm jump ring here if you want to. You don't have to add the jump ring. Always just remember you get the jump rings, but you can always leave them out if you want to change the length. You can also cut your chain if your chain is too long and you want to make your earrings a little bit shorter, or just leave it out altogether, right? So got your little dangle flowers. I think they're so cute, and they look cute either way, right? They look cute with or without the chain. It really is just kind of up to you and your personality. They're so, so cute. All right, I've got one more pair of earrings to show you guys, and then I'm going to let you guys go for the day. Just take a little look at those one more time. Those sweet little flowers. Super, super cute. All right, now I have more of a romantic pair of earrings. These also come in 2 different colors. So these are really beautiful filigree fans. Okay, the filigree fans. I have 2 pieces of chain hanging from them with our sweet little pearls. And then you can glue on your roses. So there's either the dark pink or you can glue on the light pink. Now, I didn't glue to the sample because this is somebody's kit, so I don't want to do it for them. But those are your choices in the colors for the roses. So I'm going to show you real quick how to put these together. Super quick and easy. So we've got our filigree piece here. You want to put all of it together first and then glue the rose, or you want to glue the rose first, let the glue dry, and then put everything together, right? Just don't try to do everything all at once. That glue needs to set up before you put these on your ears for sure. Okay. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, we have our little pieces of chain here that are all pre-cut. One of them already has a pearl attached to it. I'm going to do the other one. I'm going to wire wrap our pearl to the end of our chain. So I'm going to take a head pin. I'm going to thread on our tiny little check glass pearl. Okay, I'm going to do a wrap loop, and I'm going to wrap that directly to our chain. So I'm going to bend the wire. I'm going to come in. Hi, Gail. Come in with my round nose pliers. I'm going up and over, rotate, take the wire over to the other side. Okay, there's our loop. I'm going to thread that to the end link of our chain. Slide those two together. I know, are they not cute? Those little tiny baby pearls. All right, and then I'm going to wire wrap to secure that pearl onto our chain. Look how tiny. And I'm going to come in with my cutter tool, trimming off the excess. Ah, hard to see. Tuck in your end. Okay. So you're going to do that to both of your little chain pieces so that you have those ready to go. Okay. Now the rest of this is just a series of jump rings. Okay. So I'm going to take a jump ring and attach here to the bottom. Go ahead and close that back. Now I'm going to use another jump ring just so that these will hang the way that I want them to. I'm going to thread on each one of my pieces of chain. So there's one, there's the other. And then before I close this jump ring, I'm going to attach it to the jump ring that is attached to the bottom of our little fan. Okay. And close that back. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing up here at the top. We're just going to take a couple of jump rings. It takes two so that our ear wires are facing the correct way. So opening that up, there's a little hole right there in the center. We're going to thread our jump ring onto that. And then we can go ahead and thread that second jump ring. Close. Okay, and then we're just going to attach our ear wire. Now, again, you can do all of this first and then glue your rows on, or glue your rows on first. Let it dry. Or you can leave it without. Look how pretty. They're so pretty. And then adding the rows just takes it to a very, they're so vintage looking. They're very romantic. So there's the dark pink and then the light pink. So there you go. And I'm not going to glue them because, like I said, I got to take this apart, put it in somebody's kit. So I don't do the gluing for them, but there you go. Aren't they cute? Love, love, love. All right. I'm going to turn you guys around. And we'll do a quick run through, back through all of our projects for today. Pam says, what glue do you recommend? I definitely, for projects like this, E6000. I don't love E6000. You guys have heard me say before, particularly if you've been around me for a while, you know that E6000 is like my least favorite jewelry glue ever for so many reasons. However, it does have a place in jewelry making and it works. Do I love it? I do not. Is it necessary? It is. A little drop of that is all you're going to need, and you'll be good to go. You can use other glues, but the E6000 is really the best when you're using metal. So I'm going to put one of these in so that you can see what it looks like, but it doesn't have the flower, so you're going to have to use your imagination. And again, you can change these up by shortening the length. You can leave the chain off altogether and just do like maybe one little pearl on a head pin at the bottom if you don't like the length. So you can adjust them, or you can always just turn it into two pendants instead of earrings. But these are very lightweight, so they're easy to wear. Very, very pretty, and they look amazing with the roses on them. All right, I'll show you our other two little pairs of earrings. So we have our flowers with the chain. And another opportunity to trim the chain if the chain is too long. Aren't those just sweet? They're just the sweetest little spring design. Or you can do them without the chain and just keep them short and they're still just as cute, right? We have our purple and blue earrings that match our purple and blue bracelet. So there are the earrings. Really bold. Love those. And then, of course, the knotted and cha-cha bracelet to go with. Super cute. We have two other pairs of earrings, just real quick, that match our necklace. So we have our sweet little sunflowers with our drops. We have our drapes, whoops, with our chips, which are also really cool, by the way. And then last but not least, I'm going to have to grab this bust because the other bust has another project on it. Last but not least was our necklace. So let me thread that on here so you can see what that looks like. And there is our necklace that those last two pairs of earrings go with. So some super fun projects, right? Super fun projects that can be put together really quickly. And you've got some great spring pieces that you can wear all through summer. And quite honestly, the color combinations that I picked out for today's projects, you can wear those all year. They're definitely timeless. So, yeah. Marley Beth says, what type of glue for the nylon? So for the nylon, you can use the E6000. You just want to use it like on the tip of like a toothpick or something, because you only need a little bit. But I use the GS Hypo Cement because it has that little precision tip on it. And it really, mine's kind of gunky. They just get that way. But it really is the best glue for cord. I definitely recommend it over some of the other glues out there when it comes to cord. You can use it on metal too. But E6000 is really specifically designed for that. I just don't like it. I just don't. I can't help it. I just can't. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. I hope I've inspired you. Please don't forget to go check out Danielle Wicks's Etsy shop while you are shopping in mine, because today's projects, every single one of the things that you've seen today is available for purchase in my Etsy shop. I pack those up and I ship them to you super quick. And you can put these pieces together exactly the same way. Just refer back to this video. Something I do want to mention about my Etsy shop is that in the description of every single one of the kits is a reminder, and so you can write this down. So like, for instance, any of the kits that you see today in the kit, underneath the kit materials list, it'll say the how-to Facebook Live or YouTube Live was 3/11/22. That makes it easy for you to come back to Facebook and go through the videos to find the one that was on 3/11, or over to YouTube and find the one that was on 3/11. That way you'll know which video contains the project. So always write that down or check back once you get your kit in your hand, because I don't do written instructions. I have a lot of people that get really angry about the fact that I don't do written instructions, but I don't have time to do that. I do so many Facebook Lives and have so many like irons in the fire that me doing the project in a Facebook Live that lives on forever on YouTube or here in Facebook land, I feel like is just as good as written instructions. So, you know, you just gotta kind of have to look to find those, but I try to make it as easy for you as possible. All right. So our Hardwired, we're meeting today at 4:30 p.m. Don't forget about that. We've got Sam with us and we're putting together a really awesome necklace project. For the rest of you guys, I will be back on Tuesday. Just a little sneak peek. This is what we're putting together on Tuesday. And if I could hold it straight up and down, it would be so much more pretty than. But yeah, this is our Tuesday project. So come hang out for that. Little bit of easy wire work and a little bit of easy stringing. So yeah, just a fabulous fun piece to put together. And I will see you guys next week. All right. Enjoy your weekend. Have an amazing one. If you live here in the South, it looks like we might actually get some snow. So either cross your fingers or don't. I'm going to wear my pajamas inside out and hope that I get one more snow before spring finally makes its way here. Have a great rest of the day, you guys. I love you. Bye.